So we were looking into the Confederation of Indian Industry, right? So it is nothing but an industry association, right? So it works to create and sustain right, an environment see what kind of environment. The conducive environment for the development of the, what I can say, the conducive environment for the development. So here you must be looking for the meaning of conducive, right? So conducive, making certain kind of situation or the outcome likely or the possible, right? For example, if you want to have a so and so development, and if you have that kind of environment, right? If you have purposefully created that environment, which is called environment conducive for the development, conducive, likely, or the possible for the development, right? Or you can consider making a certain situation. I will write here what less, making a certain situation. Fine. The next institute which we can consider is the Competition Commission of India, CCI. Just a minute. Something has changed. Okay. Competition Commission of India, CCI, whose headquarters is at New Delhi. And what about this Competitive Commission of India is? Right. So again, it is responsible for enforcing the Competition Act, okay, Competition Act 2002, right, throughout India, and to prevent activities that have been appreciable adverse effect, right, on the competition in India. Now, if you consider this particular thing, as its name indicates, Competition Commission of India, that is Pratisparda Ayog. As like we do have the UPSCs, likewise this Competition Commission is there, right? So Bharatiya Pratisparda Ayog म्हणू शकतो आपण त्याला. Now, if you consider actually its responsibility, it is nothing but Government of India is one of the statutory bodies, and its prime responsibility is to enforce the Competition Act 2002, right, which we can consider, right? So this is the way by which we can have the Competition Commission in India, right? So that the healthy atmosphere as far as competitions are concerned will be maintained throughout for any of the kinds of competitions. Right. Next one, Central Pollution Control Board. The Competition Act 2002. See, this Competition Act 2002 is the act enacted by the Parliament of India, which is governing the Indian competition law. Right. So it primarily to prevent the activities that have an adverse effect of competition or within the competition of India. Right. For example, monopoly. Right. The word monopoly, you know. So in most of the businesses, there is monopoly of certain societies. Right. So they have control on the trade of India, or the what we can consider commerce or business of India, right? So certain families or certain, so that kind of monopoly. So it should not happen likewise, right? And therefore, in order to prevent such kinds of adverse effects, right? That means everyone should get equal kind of opportunity for the competition, right? So for that, this commission is fine. So next is Central Pollution Control Board. Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB. It whose headquarters is at New Delhi. Fine. Central Pollution Control Board. Now, if you consider this particular board, right, which is very, very important. Again, it is India's one of the statutory organizations working under Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. It under Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. And climate change. Now, if you consider its functions, right? So it functions for serving in the field of, let's say, year, right? So that any of the not only the year field, right? Any of the fields which are causing the pollution, right? And through the point of view of union, that is all over India, if you consider. So in this particular case, now this is basically being divided into zone offices, and it has its 5 different laboratories across the India, right? So if you consider, it looks for or it coordinates the activities of the state pollution control boards by providing some kind of technical assistance as well as guidance, and to resolve the disputes among them, right? You know, there are so many different disputes. For example, if you want to if you want to construct a road, right, mostly in the area of Konkan. So you have to have the permission by the Ministry of Environment Sciences, that is Ministry of this Environment, right? And at the same time, you have to have the permission from, let's say if you want to have a bridge for railway, then in that case you have to have permission from Ministry of Environment and Ministry of Roads Transport, right? Or if you want to have a road wherein already there is the rail track, so again in that case, fine. So these are the things which are always considered, because as such there is no relationship in between, right, which we can think, though no relationship of road transport ministry with the pollution, but actually it is, right, because the environment is, rather ecology is getting polluted, right? So for that, this is the ministry which is coordinating the activities of the state pollution control boards and also providing them some technical assistance. And if any of the disputes are there, they can be resolved by this particular control board. Fine. So Central Pollution Board, Control Board at New Delhi. The next one which we can consider is the Central Board of Secondary Education. Central Board of Secondary Education. I think some of you must be knowing it. Yes, exactly. CBSE. Right. CBSE. So whose headquarters is at New Delhi? So what about this CBSE is? So Central Board of Secondary Education, it is nothing but the national level board of education, right? Those who don't know, for them, national level board of education in India. Okay. Education Board of India. Yes. So national level board of education, as well as it is the board for the public as well as private schools, right, which are under control and management of the central government, right, or the government of India. Fine. Only one thing is that in this let's say CBSE schools, right, or the schools which are affiliated to CBSE has to follow the curriculum of NCERT, right? So that is the case which we can consider. So Central Board of Secondary Education, CBSE, New Delhi. Then next, which you can have, is Central Board of Film Certification. Central Board of Film Certification, that is CBFC, whose headquarters is at Mumbai. Fine. So that we can consider. Okay, so if you consider the Central Board of Film Certification, CBFC, which is at Mumbai. So it is nothing but a film certification body. A film certification body. मागच्या 3-4 वर्षापूर्वीपासून ह्या this body has been always in argument, right, from last 4-5 years because of the appointment of its director. So it works under, anybody who can guess, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. National Council of Educational, what it is? National Council of Educational Research and Training, NC. Okay. Acha, there was a question, NCRT. So full form of the NCRT is National Council of Educational Research and Training. Yes. But I think who has written this? Okay, question was by Karthik and Aditya has answered it. So National Council of Education and Educational Research and Training. Okay. So it works under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. And Ministry of Broadcasting. You know, what is the functioning of this? So functioning of this CPFC is the regulating the public exhibition of films under the provisions of the Cinematograph Act. So there is a Cinematograph Act 1952. So you have to always regulate the public exhibition of the films under the provisions, right? So, you know, the film is always being screened, right? So film screen in cinemas and television may be publicly exhibited in India after certification by the board. So, you know, most of the times the allegations are always there. For example, which of that movie is Padmavat, right? So because of that, some of the things which were or some of the scenes which were having allegations, I think Panipat, right? Yes, recently Panipat. There was again some of the allegations on the movie by Kangna Ranaut, Manikarnika. I'm not able to. No, related to Tanaji, there was no allegation, right? That kind of. Only thing is that they themselves have accepted that they have what we can consider. They have changed some of the things, right? But in the Padmavat and Panipat also, these allegations have come, but mostly in the Padmavat, right, recently. So only once you have a certificate from this board, then and then you can make it public, right? Otherwise, you can't, right? And for that, screening of each of the cinemas is being done. Fine. So screening, this board sits together, member of along with director sits together and go through that particular movie, and then if anything is which can be having allegations or probably that, then that scenes get cancelled out. Fine. And then next one which we can have is the Central Warehousing Corporation. Central Warehousing Corporation, CWC, whose headquarters is at New Delhi. Fine. Now this Central Warehousing Corporation is to provide logistics support to the agricultural sector, right? What about it is to provide logistics support to the agricultural sector, right? So it is nothing but a public warehouse operator offering logistical services. Yes, most of the headquarters are at Delhi. You know, before independence, most of the headquarters were at Kolkata, right? So always keep in mind, according to convenience, it is being happening, right? For example, I will tell you one small thing. Suppose someone wants to set up one of the national importance institutions at Jalna, right? For example, now while preparing the bill or while preparing the proposal, everything will be cleared. Even air connectivity to Aurangabad is a good. Then from Aurangabad, it is only around 60 kilometers. That will take only 1 hour of journey by road, right? Still, there will be some bureaucrat, there will be some policymakers, right? Mostly bureaucrats who will think that if that institute, which is of national importance, is suppose at Jalna, then at least the bureaucrats who has to work in that particular institute, they have to be at Jalna. So who will go there? So always keep in mind there are different things which are in every time involved in these uh, establishments, and that's the reason you will be seeing out the crowding of all these institutions, right? In fact, not necessarily everything should be crowded in single place. Another point is another aspect of this is it is always good to have a conjunction or as much as less distances in these institutions in order to have the good integrity, right? But you know, in this modern era, which is completely depending on the information technology or run by most of it is run by internet, right? Why you have to be physically at one place, right? So there are some of the things which we can't broke out, and this is called a syndicate, which we can think out. One more example I will tell you. When I was in college days, at that time, you know, NCC. So every NCC, in NCC there is a concept of battalion, right? And group headquarter. So group headquarter here, as far as the nearest places, is at Aurangabad, and under this headquarter there are 7 battalions. So one of these battalions is at Ahmednagar. Another is in fact, in Ahmednagar there are 2 battalions. Then in Aurangabad itself there are 2 battalions. At Latur there is 1 battalion, right? You know, at Beed and Usmanabad there will be no battalion. Rather, there is no battalion. So these are the units which are connected. So why it is, suppose in Aurangabad itself there are 2 battalions. Suppose what will happen, one of these battalions will get transferred to either Usmanabad or Beed, or from Ahmednagar. One is sufficient? No, because you know what is the reason. I have asked to different commanding officers of these battalions. So there was argument that the connectivity to Beed and Usmanabad by railway is nothing, right? Even to go to that places, it looks remote. So compared to Beed and Usmanabad, the connectivity to Aurangabad is better. Even Aurangabad is also having aerial connectivity, right? Then the railway connectivity is good to Ahmednagar than Aurangabad. So these are the things which are always involved. Anyway, so next one which we can consider is Coal India Limited. Coal India Limited, right? Whose headquarters is at Kolkata. Now, what about this Coal India Limited, right? To provide logistics support to agricultural sector. I have a question, but it was related to okay. So Coal India Limited, CIL. Okay, thank you, Aryan. So what is CIL? You know, it is a state-owned coal mining and refinery company. COAL, coal mining and refinery company. Fine, which is headquartered at Kolkata. So it is India's largest coal producing company. Largest coal producing company, right? Even in the world, fine. So as far as India's coal production is concerned, more than 82% production of coal is by this company only. Fine. So this is at Kolkata. And next we can consider is Container Corporation of India Limited, CONCOR. Container Corporation of India Limited, CONCOR. So CONCOR, fine. Which is at, its headquarters is at New Delhi. Now, what about this CONCOR is? Right, so Container Corporation of India. You know, it is working under in the Ministry of Railways. Fine. And it is a kind of Navratna public sector undertaking. So working under Ministry of Railways. Ministry of, right, so containers, fine, Corporation of Containers Corporation Limited, right? So you know, the containers cargo transport, so that is related to this one, fine. Then next one which we can consider here is the Defense Research and Development Organization. Most of you must be knowing this. Defense Research and Development Organization, DRES, Aditya, whose headquarters is at New Delhi. Right. So you know, it is nothing but the agency of Government of India, and it is for the military's research and development. right? For militaries, research and development. For militaries, research and development. Okay, I will show. I think, okay, we might be having 3-4 minutes for military research and development, right? You know, much more about this, right? So, but overall, it's nothing but research and development organization related to military. Military stands for everything, right? Right. So it is not only for army. We can consider all the 3 armed forces. Fine. Then next here is the Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation. Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation. Okay. So this Deposit Guarantee Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation, DICGC, which is at Mumbai. So what about this is, you know, this is completely owned by Reserve Bank of India, right? Owned Reserve Bank of India. And what is the purpose of this? So purpose of this Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation is to provide insurance of deposits and guaranteeing of credit facilities, right? So it insures bank deposits right? Every deposit, it may be saving, it may be fixed amount, it may be current amount, it may be recurring deposit, right? That is RD, current, fixed, saving, every, right? So up to 5 lakhs of each of the deposits in the bank, right? म्हणून आता जर तुम्ही बघितलं कोणत्या कुठल्या बँक, येस बँक आणि पीएनजी, राईट, कुठल्या तरी बँकेचे असेच घोटाळे झाले ना. Okay, we are at the last minute. So that should, okay, someone wants a screenshot of this. Fine. So I was talking about the Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation. Now Government of India has guarantee of up to 5 lakhs in any of the banks. So in any of the banks you have deposited up to 5 lakhs, then that money is guaranteed by the central government, in fact by the Reserve Bank of India, and that insurance, right, is provided by this particular corporation, that is Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation, right? म्हणून कुठल्याही बँकेत पैसे ठेवत असाल तर 5 लाखापेक्षा जास्त ठेवू नका आता. Okay, so